Hello and welcome to another episode of Work to Create, where 1 week after I make a video, I explain to you guys exactly how I did it, tips, tricks, and links, all to help you guys become better content creators. So let's go, roll that intro. Roll that intro. 1 second. Roll that intro. So guys, 1 week ago, I did part 3 of My Home, Your Home, Our Home, featuring my good friend, Thomas Conrad. Turned out incredible. One of my favorite edits to date, by far. Really pleased with how it turned out. The views are low. I'm kind of disappointed. Seriously though, really disappointed. Anyways, that's fine, it's okay. Just gonna keep grinding, stuff will happen. Let's get into it. So how did I make this video? Well, first I started by setting the scene. So we shot the video around the railroad tracks, around railroad cars, the engines, all those things. And so right off the bat, I wanted to show people exactly where we were, what was going on, and the sounds associated, with that environment. So immediately train whistles, train tracks, and like train cars, all of those things going on, and it really puts you in that space. I also showed like the sign that said Brookings. There used to be a railroad in my hometown, not anymore. It's just like an old kind of restored train station, basically. Another thing I wanted to talk about was having a vision. And I know we've talked about telling a story, but having a vision is knowing how you want to tell the story. And how I did this in my last video is mainly through in-camera transitions. You'll see several times, and I'll show you, where basically I move the camera at the end of a shot, or at the beginning of a shot, in order for the shot before and after to kind of seamlessly connect, seamlessly flow through it, so that when the viewer is watching the video, they don't really realize that, that was taken at 2 different times. It looks like it all happened at once, and somehow, the next clip is just there, the next scene is there. It's also, in-camera transitions are a really good way to get your audience to focus on what you want them to focus on. It's really how you get them to see what you want them to see. And like, this is important when you're telling a story. You want them to focus on what what you're telling a story about. You don't want them to focus on something in the background or just kind of get bored because like they don't have anything to look at. That is that. Also, Justin the D Show does a tutorial on this. He basically does tutorials on everything, but he does a tutorial on in-camera transitions, and I'll include the link in the description, so check it out. Now, I know we've talked about this before, but we're back to the blending modes. You'll see in the beginning, I know you guys probably had lots of questions. In the beginning, I combined 2 clips using a blending mode to create the train kind of effect. And by combining these 2 clips using the blending mode, I was able to create a transition to kind of begin, the whole short film. And I thought it turned out really well. I was really proud of myself. I didn't actually take video of the train that I put underneath the clip, the one that's passing by, but I found some pre-stock footage and was able to make it work. And that's like another part of just being a creator. You're always gonna run into problems, and you always like have a vision. You always like know what you want, but you don't know how to do it. So you really just gotta experiment. You gotta make do with what you have. And so like I think that's really important, and it really forces you to think outside the box and cross, boundaries that you normally wouldn't cross. It allows us to grow. So I was able to do that, and it turned out really well. Sometimes it doesn't turn out well, but that's fine. That's okay. You're still learning, getting better. Nothing wrong with that at all. To no surprise, Justin the D Show has another tutorial on blending modes, which I will put in the description. So the next thing I want to talk about is the title. Now, granted, the title wasn't really official, and it wasn't really like, you know, it was just part 3. It wasn't anything, you know, crazy. It wasn't the beginning of a movie. But you might have missed it because it's very subtle, and it blended in with the clip. But there's a reason for this. Sometimes titles can ruin films, and it's really important to make sure that your title really just fits in with everything and doesn't stand out and doesn't look cheesy or unprofessional. And Josh at Olufemi Tutorials has a tutorial on this, how he really makes his titles work with his films, and I will include that link down below. And I was able to use his tutorial to better my title, and yeah, so hopefully you guys can benefit from it too. You probably noticed I put a ton of boomerangs in my video, and if you don't know what a boomerang is, you can see it right here. There is, you know, you have one clip going forward, and then it's the same clip going backward at like a faster speed or whatever. It's including, you know, speed ramps are included all throughout it. I have a tutorial by Olufemi Tutorials that features Ben Hagerty, who I really look up to, and he's really good at speed ramps and boomerangs, and they're just a really cool effect. It's something to add dynamic to your films, and you should definitely check it out because I was able to use it and improve. So there was one more effect in my video that I haven't explained yet, and it's actually something that I just recently learned, and I was really able to use it to my advantage, and really actually added so much dynamic and appeal to my video. I thought it's the echo effect. So you'll see the clip right here, and you can see where it kind of makes the glitch sound, and then there's like a trail of Thomas, and then it kind of swings around to the next clip. And yeah, it's so in Premiere Pro there's an effect, it's called echo, and you can dial in the number of echoes, the speed at which the echoes go, all sorts of things. It's really cool to play around with and experiment with, and I was able to get a really cool effect. And don't forget, if you're gonna use these more complex effects, you gotta use a sound effect to make it come to life. You gotta to create that dynamic. You gotta add sound effects with all of your transitions or effects, because it will make your video that much better. Okay, and last but not least, we got all my editing techniques. I'm just gonna name them off because I mean there's quite a few. So jump cuts, obviously, you know, the more you use them, the better you get at them, and the more creative you can get with them. Speed ramps, obviously. Sound effects, always. Blending modes. Oh, before we get off of sound effects, go check out luxuryleaks.com and download the sound effects pack, buy the sound effects pack, because it's amazing and definitely worth the money, and yeah, it's incredible. Just go get it. Blending modes, in-camera transitions, echo effect, and I will include tutorials and links to all of these things in the description, so definitely go check it out. A summary will be down below as well of all the things that we talked about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't seen the video of Thomas, I don't know what you're doing. Stay tuned for part 4 featuring Cameron Eisman and Nathan Icky Bongoy, King Congo. Love those guys. We had a lot of fun. Went up on a rooftop on downtown in my hometown. Nice. Yeah, so working on that right now. Stay tuned. You're gonna love it, and it's gonna be sick. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you were able to learn something. Hopefully I was able to help you become better. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you feel like. I'd prefer if you subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. And yeah, I will see you in part 4 of My Home, Your Home, Our Home. Peace!
Fire up the flow and blow the fog and stress. I'm running out of time from the snooze reset. Ooh, I ain't got no time, but in a minute, yeah. Still to blow my line, but in a minute, yeah. And goddamn, she fine, but in a minute, yeah.